It's crazy because you know what I just like. Whenever I talk and like vent to the Lord, He corrects my I want to say my attitude, my train of thinking comes from Him. You can say whatever about anyone else's mentor that you want, but I'm not any of them, and I'm who I am. So, honestly speaking, I'll get to it in a minute, babe. Just trying to remind me. My whole thing is this. You're acting like a fucking attention whore right now, bro. I just massaged your legs and everything. You need to chill out. Look at her. She wanted me to remind me to get the other side. I only did one side. She's a real diva, what do y'all know? She's worse than a lot of y'all females. But she deserves every bit of it because she's the only one that been holding me down out here mentally. You know, just a true companion. She's a headache, but who isn't, right? Some people are actual joys to be around. She is when she's in the mood. But we deal with a lot. Hold on, girl. Damn. Sit your ass down. Sit down. She get on my nerves sometimes. But it's like there's a system involved that's jacked up. We all know that. All the systems are jacked up. The only systems that are good are the ones y'all building out there, honestly. The newcomers, the ones that are coming into the world now, and smart enough and intelligent enough to deal with the software that we have, work with the networks that are already out there that work against you already. And it's like, so many people try to beat the system. You can't beat the system. You're dealing with a system that fucks over whoever it wants to and who it doesn't. It picks and chooses. So it's like, if you're on the right side of the dirt, you might get by. If you're not, goodbye. And that's how it goes. And it's been like that long before all of y'all. Long before all of y'all. So it's like, at this point, 2025, how can y'all sit around and bitch about things that have already been established before any of y'all? Any of y'all. So it's like, either get involved with building an engine and a system that works, or just sit down and play the sideline like y'all supposed to. All of y'all. Because only the real ones gonna survive. Only real ones know how to go out there and get it done right. And the rest of y'all just a bunch of, right, fake noise. Because that's real noise. That's a real voice. That requires real attention, not the stuff y'all be bitching about. So I went and got my dog for more reasons than one. For one, I love this breed of dog. It's the best breed, I think, that walks the earth. There's a lot of other dogs that you can like target other reasons for, but she serves her purpose. Look at this beautiful creature. That could only come from the Lord. With your pretty ass. But honestly, she's a major headache. Look at her. Look at her. Wanna go out? Come on. So what I do is I let her take the whole yard. But not here, it's not my yard. It's Red Roof's yard. She'll have her own yard soon enough. As soon as I get off these conditions. So I let her just go. She's got the longest leash in the world, y'all. So I just clip her to me right here. She has a tendency to want to wander the whole neighborhood, so I'll let her go as far as the chain goes. But that's it, nothing more. And when she pulls the door shut, I know she's getting busy with someone's dog that walked past. So I'm just like, let me get her before she get us in trouble. Have us sitting outside with all our stuff, wondering who gonna come get us right now. And I'm at the point where I'm getting frustrated with this fucking building because they should just be picking up the phone and handling things over the phone instead of having their lobbies full of people, excuse me, who are impatient and really honestly got other things that's going on in their lives that they want to get back to, but they're being trapped in that lobby because people will sit there and give you a number and call every number around your number. As soon as you even think to get up to go do something like answer a phone call or talk to someone outside about getting a ride home, because most people get dropped off there who didn't drive there themselves. Most people take the bus there who couldn't get there with help. And then you're sitting in this lobby all day like you ain't got other things to get out there and get back to, but they'll drag you like that in the mud just to see who needs the help and who wants to help more. That's kind of foul. Or you could just help people and send them on their way and get them out your face. Now, y'all gotta have a chill day in there. Because if you took more time trying to get everybody's caseload out the door, you would not have to have such a congested lobby. But when people know that, you know the rest. So they do it how they do it, y'all. They built a system that's just gonna watch y'all fall off or crawl back to them begging for help. And I've never been a beggar. I've always asked. And no comes often more than yes. So I've developed a radical acceptance, is what the counselors call it. A radical acceptance to these type of things, where I just accept it and go forward with whatever I can. So here I am. They only extended it 2 weeks, or they only gave a voucher for 2 weeks when this place takes 30 plus. It's ridiculous because they did that shit just to play me out, y'all. There was no reason, because that person is not even my case manager. My case manager has never even put me in a situation like that. Other people who handle the caseload, when she's not there, they do that. Put me in the 2 weeks places. Why would you put me in a place for 2 weeks when they take 30 days or more? So I don't even know why they do that, but they've been jumping me around, playing jump rope with me all over the place, throwing me here, throwing me there, throwing me there. When really it is up to the places if they got room, if they want to deal with someone like you, if they accept your dog, and a lot more. So they do what they can over there, but then there's the ones in there that are just nasty. So I'm making this documentation because you need to understand, like, yo, you guys aren't the only ones that deal with some stuff. I've humbled myself to utilize this system that's supposed to be placed in play by New Jersey. It's a New Jersey state statute for us to be able to come home from prisons or county jails and go over to that building and say, hey, would you mind housing me real quick? It's an emergency housing situation. For those that need an emergency housing situation, that's what it's for. Me personally, I used it underneath the New Jersey statute. They had documentation to why I couldn't go back to the address that I was at residing prior to this, which I was supposed to make an address change, which I'll be going down to DMV to handle very shortly. I'm upset that it hasn't been able to happen yet. I've had difficulty getting down there to any of the DMVs outside of my traveling. But, you know, when I do have it to travel, I'm outside of those hours or whatever the case. There's lots of things that get in front of that one task. But it'll get handled because DMV's next up on the list for my financial plans to be able to handle, because I have to be able to drive around and do things for commerce with the business plans that I got laid on that bed over there. With the business plans that are trapped in these videos, with the business plans that's trapped in a lot of different devices that I have, including Androids and iPhones. So they are doing something at a more just childish level than ever at this point, because I've left my case manager a message. And it's sad because it's like the Lord just told me, like, you're not going to beat a system. Like, so people be thinking they can beat the system. You didn't beat the system. You just got treated fairly in that situation. And a lot of us did. A lot of y'all don't. I'm going through a situation right now. I'm just tired of talking about it. It's so stressful because I know how foul that county plays everywhere. Like, everywhere. Especially Brownson County. They're horrible in that county. And everybody that lives there says so. Some people have been beaten down into submission and accepted. I have radical acceptance, but I'm not going to accept getting beat down to a level of submission. You won't do that to me as a human being. It's unacceptable. I have rights just like everybody else. All right, my dog even has rights. She's protected by HIPAA. My whole thing is like, now, you guys are violating us as people when you treat us like this. Because I'm sitting here watching the 2 weeks go by and they're not answering the phone. Knowing they didn't send me out here with any type of traveling assistance. That lady gave me one Burr link to get over to the travel end, which got completely revoked as soon as I got there. I didn't even make it to check-in. The man came out just being nasty and rude off the rip. Everybody knows that guy's a jerk off over there. Everyone knows that. And they sent me over there with no warning that the dog's not supposed to. My friend was telling me about how he may behave about the dog. But they should have told me before they sent me over there with a dog. Or we didn't know we had a dog. Everybody knows I have a dog. The courtroom knows I have a dog. The sheriffs all talk to me about my dog. How's your dog? How's your dog? Because they know what I went through when recovery court trapped me in there for a bullshit sanction over the weekend, an entire weekend for 3 days, over being late to an appointment. I lost my whole weekend on Christmas Eve. I had to go save my dog. I had to break in the window and bust the screen and then replace. And I fixed the screen. I did. Fixed it, repaired it, all that. And borrowed the ladder, which someone tried to call the cops and report like I was stealing it. Borrowed the ladder to get up the window. But I did put the ladder right back when the police were pulling up. I was already walking it over there with my dog. And the sergeant there, who happens to be class at the time, oh man, he earned his stripes. Y'all better be careful out there. But he, personally, came on the scene and was like, got in his car and left because it's not that. It wasn't that. They had this big old brolic, broly ass looking dude from Dragon Ball Z trying to escort this Officer Good, or whatever her name is. We're not going to keep exposing that. It doesn't matter. I don't care about that. I'm trying to protect them. I just don't care to remember their names on their name tags. However, she was there. I don't think it was good. It was good as a sheriff in the Browns County Superior Court building. This one, however, favors her, so maybe I can mix the two. She was there. She got a little nervous about the dog, so she left. But once they got confirmation that I was actually in the apartment by looking at my mail, laptop, my belongings, along with everything to prove that I was there, I had the key. I had a freaking key to the apartment. My whole thing is like, my dog was trapped there, now I get her out, and somebody tried to call the cops to get me reported for using the ladder after I asked everybody in the neighborhood. Somebody pointed me in the direction of the ladder that was on the maintenance. I thought they were pointing to that one, so I focused on that one. I didn't see the one on top of the maintenance storage box until after the officers left. But long story short, I got up out of that situation easily because they came and saw that I wasn't anyone breaking and entering. I wasn't anyone stealing anyone's property. And I strapped the man's stuff back down the same way he had it. No problem, no foul. I didn't destroy his stuff. I borrowed it to go save a life. I was trapped in a building where no one there to feed her. No one ever released her to go use the bathroom. Anything. Not yours to care about. Mine. So I did what I had to do. And I told Sergeant Glass, I said, yo, if it was you and there was life on the line, what y'all gonna do? Kick the door in, right? All right then. Well, I saved y'all having to worry about damage to the property once these wood people, this was in Browns Woods Apartments, once they make a report about the door. I went up in the window. I took the screen. People here said it's permissible for them. Usually it's for the first floor. I went up on the second floor, got through the window, got my dog out, replaced the screen, put the window back in, cleaned the carpet because she only pooped, thank God, for once. One time and peed one time right by the bathroom. She tried. Clap it up for her. Good job, baby. She tried. She could have did a lot more. Could have been in there eating up all the furniture, peeing on everything and doing everything else like bad dogs do when you leave them at home. But she's a good dog and well-behaved and well-trained, and she does guard very well. That's why I say she's emotional support and a full-service dog because she does a lot more. So please respect the fact that my dog is who she is. Now, the fact that they want to act like I don't have a dog when I brought the dog in the building, the same building, she goes everywhere, the courtroom, social service building, and other stores, anywhere that animals that are support animals are welcome. So we're not going to do that. She's actually free here at the Red Roof, so I would like to have the extension here, but they may just play hardball. This is why I don't utilize this service, y'all. I don't never ask them people for nothing. May have went in there for food stamps because my sister taught me into utilizing it to try to help out around the house. But I do what I do. Now I'm not in the street doing no dumb shit right now, so a lot of people hating that. They want me to go and conduct them recidivism behaviors so I could be right back in there. Don't you know how fast they'll come to take this off and then put the cuffs on and be like, damn, you almost made it. I would never do that with only a couple weeks left. That'd be foolish as hell. That's the stupidest thing anybody could do. So I'm not into self-sabotage. So here I am trying to get them to just do their job while I do mine. I'm doing my job. Surviving my conditions is the main thing I'm worried about. So that's the only thing that's going to take me away from y'all right now. Then I got something else I have to face. Facing it head on because I'm standing on mine. It's this one, y'all. That prosecutor can come in there and say whatever he wants with that liar that he's bringing up on the stage. And she's manipulative as they come and trying to get one off of the victim compensation. Victim's crimes compensation. That's what she's trying to get. She's trying to get that fee off the state. You know, y'all got to pay for that, right? It's coming out of y'all pocket. Mine too when I start working because I'm going to be paying my taxes. My whole thing is like, damn, we going to give that to a lying-ass crackhead who would try to sell you everything in her house just to get something out of you when I only lent her some money and now she wants to make it about all this other stuff. That is not. You should see the messages. If I had that old device, I would show you all the stupid stuff she would text me and I would tell her, like, what's wrong with you? Then I would go there in person and be like, Miss Donna, what's the matter with you? What aren't you getting about that? I'm going to help you with money and that's it. I only do it for the sake of a friend that you know that we have a mutual friend. I do the same thing for them. And he's like, y'all got somebody that can help you. And I come there and then it started out well, but then it turned into all that. Then it got bad because now you want to get, she didn't ask the neighbor to get involved, but the neighbor just wanted to put their head in and don't even know the facts about what's going on. Just talking stupidness. All right? So my whole thing is like now a lady's trying to lean on this falsity when really I'm really just going there and deal with the facts. So Mr. Dorfman is going to put his case together the way he needs to because he's good. He's a good defense lawyer. I don't care if he's working, but he's trying to get his hours in so he can go own his firm. I hope he does get his firm. I hope because he has a good success rate on trials right now. He's going to fight this one. He's not unconfident about it. I don't care what the prosecutor tries to throw at him later. He's ready for it, believe me. Because it's a cross-examination that we want to get to. We want to get to that part. Because the fruit of a poisonous tree is going to pull everything apart. And that right there is what we're dealing with. There's a bunch of stuff that gets pulled down. And once you pull down one of them, the prongs fall apart. And when the prongs fall apart, prosecution, what are you doing? You're clinging on to nothing. Now you're trying to use a bunch of other things to tie into things that matter to nothing. Because what we're talking about is this lady and her lies. And why it becomes a hearsay case. Because she didn't do anything that normally goes along with a person that claims this kind of action was done to them. It's a complete violation to our constitutional right. So I don't even want to hear that. When I go into the courtroom, I already asked for a speedy trial. My attorney advised me, we'll just handle this all in the right time. Take your time then, because I'm giving him all his time. I'm ready to handle this because it made me lose 2 jobs. 2 very well career-oriented jobs, man, with salaries beyond anything that I've ever reached in my life. One was $75K up to potential, great potential in commission-based, and I do run the commissions down, but great potential, uncapped earnings and commission in all sorts of ways. They offer people that stick with their company, and they're running. Their name is Momentum. I'll tell you what the other one is later if you care. But Momentum, and they all picking up because I see them moving around. I see them. Saw the van in places that they're knocking doors and securing and even installing. So it's like, yo, you took me off of that. Not only that, I was with Ashley, ready to take the floor on Friday. On Tuesday, they told me I had to take off. My store manager was like, you have to show them you're actively fighting this. And boy, am I. One check from them. You don't even want to know what I got paid for one class, 1.5 classes that I sat in for orientation. You get paid for orientation there, guys. That one check for that day and a half was one of y'all checks for a whole week. Lots of y'all. One check from working 3 days with another company. One check for 3 days was an entire week for one of y'all. And it's messed up that I got took off all this. But you know what? It's the system. It's the design. And it's designed to destroy all of us if you don't know how to grovel and crawl. Well, I'm not good at kissing ass. I'm definitely not sucking though. And one thing for certain, where I'm from, it really is. So this stuff that Jersey's on, this dirty stuff that they play, is nothing new to any of us. Some of us just don't get caught up in it. We duck it. And now that I'm out here living a good life, they want me to get back into something that I'm done with. I've been done with. Now you want to talk like I'm some violent, crazy person, but I'm out here interacting with the public everywhere I go. I will react to the reactions, because Trump said his freedom of speech is back, right? So don't be a chump about that kind of stuff. I should be able to say whatever I want to y'all.